Night news from Infected Blood Australia. You'll see that we just posted this post that we put out during the pandemic when everyone was forced by these mask mandates, and a bit of a joke on those things. And there's my deceased mate Jay. But the news was, yeah, it's on. Basically, we've been asking the Australian government for a royal commission into the infected blood scandal. And they've been indifferent. They've ignored us. They've engaged in just all sorts of denials and cover-ups, and they've ignored thousands of victims' pleas for decades, and people have died without help, and families have been ruined by it. And we're not going to take it anymore. So it's late night. What is it? It's I think 1:10 at the time I'm recording this video, and we've just had this sort of news. This is what we're doing. And it's going in that direction. The government's going to have to do the right thing. There's criminal evidence. If you followed the campaign, Infected Blood Australia, and myself, Charles Mackenzie, and if you've gone to our website, infectedbloodaustralia.com, there's a section there, the evidence they didn't want you to see. Have a look. You'll see that Australia's deadliest medical scandal was no accident. And so, there's been all sorts of cover-ups and all sorts of corruption from health officials and from the Australian government. And what's going to happen now is that we're going to have to say, if you're not going to have a royal commission into how tens of thousands of Australians ended up with things like hepatitis C as a result of blood transfusion, and how so many women ended up with HIV and of course beyond the AIDS years of the 1980s, hepatitis C. So many cases like this, and it ruined families. It really did. So there's just too many questions and not enough answers, and the people have been denied help. After there were legal investigations overseas, finally families affected were given counselling and much needed assistance, and that's why we're just determined it has to happen for us too in Australia. So that's the late night news. If you've been following also, I've been speaking about my health situation. And what's happened is I fortunately have managed to get some more medicinal cannabis, some flour, which has helped me. If you've been following, I was having problems breathing via a problem with my muscles on my right lung. And I was having to lie on my left-hand side for a long time, actually. I couldn't get breaths unless I was either sort of really leaning on my left or lying on my left-hand side. But now things have opened up for me on my right-hand side. So, I'm able to get back to things, and I'm happy about that. Time's of the essence, not necessarily because I'm on the last legs. No, I hope to live till 99. But no, time is of the essence because we have members of our group, survivors, who are very, very ill. And they'll be watching this video and they know what I'm talking about. One thing I've got to say, there's a lot of survivors of the hepatitis C scandal side of contaminated blood who ended up having cirrhosis, of course, battling liver cancer. We have people currently with liver cancer. And sleep is very difficult with everything that's happening. And so insomnia is a massive thing. So if you see me having seen these videos, one of the reasons why I'm talking about, say, alternative healthcare or things like medicinal cannabis is because many of the antiviral treatments that were what the government offered, there was no other choice really, in the 1980s, late 80s and the 90s and the 2000s, were very toxic, and they've devastated our group. We've lost a lot of people. They've been crushed by not just by their virus, but the treatment of their virus. It's another scandal on top of a scandal. It really is. So I'll, as long as I'm president of Infected Blood Australia, after having been a survivor and seeing so many of our friends die, and after we were promised by the Senate, unanimously agreed, because they knew, this is in 2004, the Senate of Australia knew just how toxic these treatments were for so many women who are taking them. These are the women that were infected with Hep C from childbirth, or haemophiliacs, for example. 1,750 Australians with the bleeding disorder haemophilia were contaminated with hepatitis C from their treatments. In many cases, they didn't even need these treatments, and yet it transferred this deadly virus to them and wrecked their lives. So, late night news from Charles Mackenzie. I wanted to share the news. It's historic in a way. It really is. because we've been waiting for decades to know that we've got the backing. And we've got the backing, and we're going to be giving out a roadmap soon about how we're going to make this happen, how we're going to say to the government, okay, there's been legal investigations into contaminated blood all around the world, and Australians will be treated no differently. We want answers into our nation's deadliest medical scandal. And if you won't do the right thing, then we're going to have to take it to a judicial review, okay? If you could, once again, repost this video. I've been asked by some of our volunteers to get more with it on that front, and I will. Please repost my videos. This is Australia's deadliest medical scandal. We've been hunting for justice for decades, and that's that we really have. We've got the evidence, and it's time. It's time. So please, if you could go to that bio, if you could click on that link, whatever it is, the one that shows you to register your support for Royal Commission for Inquiry. Please do. We need your support now. We're in the final run-in. I've been on this for 30 years, and I can tell you now, I'm looking forward to not having to watch people take so much rubbish anymore and be treated so shabbily. I'm very much looking forward to them having legal representation and a little bit of pushback against the government that's, quite frankly, betrayed people. They have. It's criminal. Thank you very much.